Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos. The paid request. It's time for Total Meltdown 2. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, pretty much any type, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is a topic where Total Meltdown 2 asked me the Hills of Ice original versus the Hills of Ice remake. On one hand, you got Wes Craven. Yeah, Michael Berryman is the main. Well, he's not the leader, but he's the mutant that people remember. That face, that distinct look of Michael Berryman. On the other hand, you have the remake around 2006, give or take, where you have Alexander Aja directing, who did Piranha 3D. He did a film I enjoyed called Crawl. He also did High Tension and a few others. I'm going to say it. I enjoy the remake more. And that's kind of why I was hesitating before, because I'm like, but I gotta be honest. I know a lot of people choose the original more. I love Wes Craven. I miss Wes Craven. I love Shocker, People Under the Stairs, Serpent in the Rainbow, Stream. Last House on the Left and Hills of Eyes were never my favorites of his. I love Nightmare on Elm Street and even Wes Craven's Nightmare, but his first couple movies never bid on. Last House on the Left I was never much a fan of. I thought the tone of the film is too inconsistent. It goes to a very dark, movie where these women are terrorized and made to be humiliated and killed and left behind and suffering. But then you have this really two dorky cops. One of them is, Treese from Karate Kid, or at least will later be in that. And it just, I'm like, this is such a conflicting, weird tone. It just doesn't quite work. I thought the Last House on the Left remake was better. And you got Tony Goldwyn from Ghost and playing a good guy. He plays the dad. I thought that was a much better, more consistent movie. Now, with Hills of Eyes, I thought the original was boring. I did. And it's not because I don't like 70s movies. I love Alien. I love Jaws. Dawn of the Dead with George Romero. Halloween. There are 70s films I do enjoy. Just not The Hills of Eyes. I always thought it was boring. I thought it was slow. I thought the acting was bad. I still think the acting is really bad. Now, Michael Berryman is good. I'll give you that. But I'm talking about like our human main characters. I thought they were really bad. I thought they were terribly acted. I thought they were... Especially the guy who's like our main protagonist, who is a nice guy that changes. He's going to succumb to the vicious tendencies as animal instincts, as pacifist becomes, don't fuck with my family, fuck you. The actor for that I did not care for. I did not like. I thought it was really lame. And I'm going to try to get the actor's name, because I cannot remember his name. I apologize. Shows how little I gave a shit about him. I just didn't care for it. I thought the look of the film was pretty drab. I mean, I get it. It's a low-budget film from the 70s. But I just didn't really feel much in terms of the look or the musical score. It just really didn't do much for me, like it did a lot of people. And I get it, it was a movie of its time, but like I said, I still love and enjoy Halloween and Dawn of the Dead and Alien and so forth. It's just this, I never found scary, I never found frightening. Other than Michael Berryman and his unique look, was it, I think Martin Spears Doug? Did not give a crap about him at all. Not one iota of shits were given from me on that. And like I said, I just found it really boring and very uninteresting. While the remake I enjoy more because I felt and saw a bit more style. Even from the opening with the atomic tests showcase and telling us a story within the opening credits of where these mutants came from. and the way the colors seem a bit more vibrant, and the desert seemed a bit more alive with Alexander Aja, the way he was done it. Maybe because he had a bigger budget, maybe because I think Wes Craven's a good director. I don't know if I would really say it's because of style. I think because, for the most part, he did make fun or interesting stories, like A Nightmare on Elm Street and Serpent and the Rainbow and People on the Stairs and so forth. Well, Aja definitely has a more unique style compared to Wes. I also like the cast more. I mean, the cast of the remake, Aaron Stanford is Doug, much, much better than this fucking Martin Spear. Yeah, I wish Goldberg speared him through the fucking cinema screen, get him out of the movie. I thought the guy in the original sucked as Doug. The Hills of Eyes remade Doug, Aaron Stanford, thought was a standout. I will admit, when I saw this in theater, I thought he looked like me. So I kind of put myself in this situation and root for him. This is when I didn't. It was many years later I started shaving my head. Because, hey, I'm getting older, so I'm like, fuck, I'm going to shave my head. But I did have hair, and I would let it grow out so it looked like his hair on the screen. And I had the glasses and the beard. And I'm like, I used to joke with my friends, man, hey, it's Doug from Hills of Eyes. You killing mutants today? Nah, I didn't kill any mutants today. I know my friend Effrey would keep calling me that a lot. In a good way. It was fun. Hey, how many mutants? You killing mutants today? So I would kind of live vicariously through that. So that's another added bonus. And I thought there's a lot more. I wouldn't say depth, but I felt more of the arc of the character, and that's because of the style where Alexander Aja really brought a spaghetti western feel to it. And yes, the first good chunk of the movie is almost a beat for beat remake. It is. Family goes in the desert. The dad character, and this played by Ted Levine, Big Bob, he gets killed. Family gets terrorized. The Dud's wife gets murdered. The mom gets killed. You have the sister and brother, Bobby and Brenda, trying to figure out what to do, making a trap. But to me, it was just done so much better because it felt it more vicious, it was more bloody, and just everything from the musical score. I don't remember a damn thing about the music in The Hills of Eyes original from 1977 by Don Peake. I'm sorry, I don't remember a damn thing about the music. I do remember the music in the remake by Tom and Dandy, especially in the third act. Especially the scene when the hero is beaten down, he's looking at his finger's been cut off, but there's the wedding ring, and he rises up, and the way the music, like a spaghetti western, is just shooting the shit out of it. And that's what I loved about it, is that it took the original, and I think it had better actors. Yes, you don't have someone in real life you need like Michael Berryman's, so they employ more makeup effects. But I didn't mind the makeup effects by KMB. I didn't mind them. Billy Drago as Papa Jupiter. Billy Drago, good character actor, sadly he's passed away. He was in Chuck Norris films like The Hero and the Terror and Delta Force 2. He was in a lot of other stuff. Robert Joy as Lizard. I think Robert Joy was in Land of the Dead. Or was it... yeah, I think it was Land of the Dead. But as Lizard. Michael Bailey Smith as Pluto. And Michael Bailey Smith, funny enough, he was the guy who was the Thing in the unreleased 90s Fantastic Four movie. I think he was also the Super Freddy in Elm Street 5, I believe. I didn't mind them. None of them will be Michael Berryman. But I didn't mind the way they looked. I didn't mind the mutations. That weird looking guy in the wheelchair that was just ready for someone to just pop his fucking neck and it blow up like a zip. That's one thing I would have added. I would have added, or at least the dog, when the dog comes in, grab the thing, just And it's just a big gusher of blood. And you really get the bloodshed, you get the intensity, and I felt more for the lead character in this. I just felt more for him because I think Alexander Aja made a bit feel more of a vicious movie. Now, whether it was because it was bloody or not, but I just felt the viciousness more, and I felt more when the wife character died. Was it Vanessa Shaw as Lynn? Because Aaron Stanford Dodd is the husband of the yeah, the mom and dad, and they have two daughters and a son, and one of the daughters is married to Doug. And this takes played by Aaron Stanford. And it's definitely my favorite role that the actor has played. And I just feel, yeah, it's a lot of beef, but when it gets to that third act, it really does a change and becomes its own movie. And that's my favorite part of it. It becomes a revenge movie. It's a one-man revenge, gory, spaghetti western type of movie with the score and the look and the way the shots are set up, and just this guy, his baby's been taken, and I thought the guy in the original was such a weakling piece of shit from beginning to end. Even at the end, he reminds me of that fucking guy in Rambo 4. Remember, if for those who've seen Rambo 4, you know the guy who's the leader of the missionaries. Oh, he gets one moment where he puts a rock and hits someone, but he still seems like a pussy. That's what the guy in Dud in the original seemed like. This was, he's not a superhero. He's a bit of a pacifist, but he's not annoying about it. And you see that change where his wife's been killed, and I thought he did a great job emotionally. He was a much better actor than the guy in the original, and he goes on his journey to save his baby. He has his dog, Beast, to help him track the motherfuckers down. And he's getting beaten up, and you just feel the impact. Like, John Love idea, feel the impact. You just feel it more in this new one than the original. The original, I didn't feel that the lead character was getting really terrorized and beaten up and broken down. Here, this guy's being tossed around, he's getting bloodier, his fingers get cut off. And then that change where he's trying, but he faces off, and when he's like, boom, in the fucking foot, and then the flag right into the neck, takes the ass, and the way the music, and he's bloody, and because he looked kind of like me, I lived vicariously through. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, kiss my ass. I felt something. I felt excitement and yeah. And then here's I think it's Greg Nicotero from KMB is the next mutant, and he fucks up his leg and he turns it right into the motherfucker's eyeball. Before that, there's a scene where he's trapped in that fridge type of thing with all the dead body parts, and just I remember seeing it in the theater. I'm like, oh shit! I just felt more intensity to it, and fuck, it was bloody. I mean, the one guy who Ted Levine finds, the guy blows his fucking head off. Yes, there's CG enhancements, but there is practical there and some really good practical effects. That's the thing. If you don't use CG enhancements, make sure you employ practical as well. And it did that. I thought it did that fairly well in this. And then again, when he goes after the character Lizard, and just beat he's getting this fight going back and forth, and again, the shot that I always think of, there's what I'm talking about with style, is the up close of his face bloodied up, and he looks, and then it cuts away, and maybe style's the wrong word, but and he sees his wedding ring barely hanging on from his cut off finger, and the way the music rises up, and he's like pa pa pa. Now I will say, to go one step away from kissing that movie's ass, I could forgive it, but it's really stupid that he should have just kept shooting the motherfucker, and he should not have dropped the gun and walked away to his baby. I forgive it a bit because just take a look at him. Look at the way he looks and his state of mind. He's not thinking clearly. If you didn't got the shit kicked out and your wife's dead and your baby's in trouble, your family's been in trouble. I don't know if I'd be thinking 100% on point either, but he should have just kept unloading that motherfucking shotgun. And it's like, oh, come on, dude, what the fuck you doing? It's just to set up a plot, the plot, not device, but the plot point of the Ruby character giving herself self-sacrifice to push the bad guy, and then both of them. So it's tragic for her and her redemption arc, so to speak. And but it's like I would have preferred a simple. He, I don't know, keeps the shotgun with him, and somehow maybe in the middle of the battle, like a shotgun shell popped out or something, and Ruby gets the shotgun shell, throws it at him, and then unloads one more time, right into the fucker's face or something, and then he falls off the cliff. I would have, you could have Ruby live. That would have been fine. I don't think no one would have complained if Ruby, the other mutant, lived. And maybe she runs off and she's gonna live by herself, or whatever hell's gonna happen. That could be up to the audience to decide. Also, they have this one little quick like sequel bit ending. You didn't need that. So at least the original didn't do that. But other than those little nitpicks, like, again, I just love that remake. It's one of my favorite remakes, and I think it easily outshines the original. I think the remake is more vicious. It's definitely a bloodier film. I felt more intense during its horror sequences. I'd give you that Michael Berryman much more of a unique look because that's his natural look. I'd give that to the original over the remake. But I think the other actors are much better. I think the family, you got Kathleen Quinlan, you got, again, Ted Levine, Aaron Stanford is much better lead. And again, the whole third act of that Sergio Leone and the music, it's like an Ennio Morricone type of music that Tom and Dandy did with the score. Great score, and it just really elevated that remake up. And I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. And when that third act came in, that's what a third act is so important. You take a movie that you like, or you think it's okay, or even maybe you're not sure of. But if you give such a fitting finale, hell, Doom 2005. That's one of the reasons I liked the film. Because the first half is it's there, you know. But then I really like the first-person shooter, and I even like the fight with him and The Rock, and I like Carl Urban, and okay, I'm really... The finale was so much fun. Okay, I did deal with Doom. It's not the definitive Doom movie. We still need that one day. Probably never happened, because I would have fucked it up, because they did Doom Annihilation, and it was a piece of fucking dick-licking shit. But, anyway, I digress. That finale really put it up quite a few notches for me. And yeah, to me, like the original, I just don't think it's that scary. I think it's slow. I think it's boring. I think the actors are fairly poor. I mean, I don't even know what these actors have done since. I mean, the guy who plays Bobby, I know he was in the sequel, Hills of Ice Part 2. These other, I mean, I guess you got Dee Wallace, to be fair. You have Dee Wallace. And of course, she's gone on to be better stuff. You know, Michael Berryman. I'll give Dee Wallace and Michael Berryman definitely the two best actors in that. But like Robert Houston, didn't do a whole lot. I mean, Cheerleaders, Wild Weekend, a role. I guess he was in 1941. I don't remember. And he helped produce the American edit of Shogun Assassin. Like after Hills of Ice Part 2, he never acted again. Now maybe that was by choice. I don't know. And what about the one girl? Was it Susan Lanier? I mean, what has she done? Sorry about that. I mean, a series regular on Tony Orlando and Dawn's Rainbow Hour for a seat on CBS, doing stand-up and comedy sketches of the show's yes. She had a country blues band and performed in L.A. club scene. She was in The Night the Bridge Fell Down. Return roles on Days of Our Lives. Well, there you go. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I just got more out of the actors, the look of the film. Like I said, definitely much more of a visceral movie in my opinion. And I know there's a lot of people that say that the original is better and teach their own, but I'm like, why? What about the original is better? If people say scarier, I don't think it's scarier. I mean, that's another thing about the remake I liked. I liked the whole the fake town with all the like fake mannequin and stuff that was done for the test sites. I like that set design in the remake. And it's like I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. Like that's kind of why I'm kind of pausing at it, trying to think what is it that people like. I I don't know. I'm not trying to shoot people down who like the original more, but I'm not going to say it's nostalgic because that's a dickhead thing to say. If you sincerely like the original more, feel free to comment down below. I just think the remake did pretty much, other than Michael Berryman, pretty much everything else better. Or and other than having it didn't have a sequel bait ending like the new one did. Pretty much all the other stuff I thought was better in the remake. I could still get excited watching that film when Dud is unloading the shotgun and the Robert Joyce character, or during that fight he gets his come up, the bad guy gets his comeuppance, and just the music that's used. Still a rousing, bloody, gory finale that Alexander Aja didn't hold back on. And to be one of the cool finales in a fucking remake, I'll say that. And that really held the movie up to a standard to me. That's just me. Plus, come on, I star in the movie. Of course I'm going to pick the remake. I star in the fucking movie. Why wouldn't I pick it? Come on, look at me. I am Dud from Hills of Eyes. Shit, the remake. Come on now. We'll see you guys later.